What's up, dogs? Big Papa Pump here. So, I got my armor, alright? Y'all ain't gotta worry about that shit. Yeah, 42. Yeah, Kira's Guardian, Faith. What the fuck? Faith's Bow. All sorts of totish gear. So, just a few minutes ago, I read an article on Diablo 4 and how they be saying that it's gonna be some big story and shit. How they be planning a bunch of expansions. They be saying how maybe Diablo, it seems as what they're alluding to, won't even be the main antagonist in Diablo 4. I don't know if that's the case or not, but it kind of what it seemed to be saying right there. They be saying that Lilith is some bitch who is gonna play a bigger part in the stories and shit, and leave room for many expansions down the road potentially with other new characters and shit like that. And they even be saying something on lines of how in Diablo 3 what happened was after the expansion is that Melthael became the main boss and Diablo was just a little brick in the road, dog. Little step that you had to take to get to the big boss. That was kind of bullshit. Because all of a sudden, the game called Diablo, right? Why are you fighting these other motherfuckers for the end boss? And Diablo just little pussy ass bitch. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea necessarily. What I think would be told is if they somehow figure out how to do shit where, say in Diablo 4, Diablo is the main boss at the end. You fight Lilith, I don't know, she escapes or some shit, and then you fight Diablo, right? But then, say they make the first expansion. And what they do is they add some middle guy, right? With other content and shit. And you gotta kill the middle guy. And then you gotta gain 10 more levels than what you ever could before. Say you level 40's max in Diablo 4. Say they bring the max up to 50. So you got to fight these middle guy, and there's new content, and then you fight Diablo in maybe a new way. Or maybe you fight the old Diablo still, but then you fight like a second version of Diablo in the expansion where you kill him once. Peace out, dog. You kill him once, and then you kill the new expansion boss, and then you kill like a second iteration of Diablo where he's even more godly. And then say that shit continues with more expansions, you know what I'm saying? Like say they make expansion number 2, and in expansion number 2, you fight Diablo, then you fight that new expansion boss, and then you fight another fucking expansion boss. No, then you fight Diablo iteration 2, and then you fight the new expansion boss, and then you fight Diablo iteration 3. Wouldn't that be the shit? Come on, man. I know you agree with me on that shit. If you don't, just let me know in the comments below. I mean, it'd be a different way to do things. And what would be told about that is the game's called Diablo, so it'd be fitting to still call it that with all these new expansions because you'll always be fighting a new iteration of Diablo at the very end of that expansion. You know what I mean? That would be told. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that in the comments section below. If you think that's a good idea or what. Also, World of Warcraft is a game where multiple expansions were great and they worked out very well, unlike Diablo 3. And why the fuck didn't they continue making expansions for Diablo 2? It just took them too long. Maybe they did slower thing. They did shit slower back then. But I don't know. It would be especially told if they wanted to hook us up as true fans, you know what I mean? And if they made a new expansion for Diablo 2. Wouldn't that be told? Maybe it could be in some way a remastered version of Diablo 2. Like that remastered version everyone was expecting at BlizzCon to be announced, but it never was. They just announced Diablo 4. So what if that shit is in the works, man? And what if it really was an expansion for Diablo 2 and remastered and shit? Came with widescreen, some added additions, like how Path of Diablo's run. That's the only way Iceman plays is Path of Diablo. You guys got to check this shit out if you haven't yet. You get a big inventory, a big stash, endgame content right here. See that? Go to these huge maps, man. That's exactly what Diablo 2 needed, was huge maps that are level 85 plus areas. So you don't have to just keep making new games. You're on the Chaos Sanctuary, then you have to make a new game and run it again and again. It's the only good way to get those 85 areas, or Worldstone Keep runs, you know, shit like that. So yeah, dog, what if they did that? But I mean, that's kind of off topic. Bottom line is, yeah, looks like they'd be thinking about, you know, having the potential of Diablo 4 to continually be expanded on for a long time. Just like how World of Warcraft did it, and it seems like it worked out just fine with World of Warcraft, right? And they really expanded on things every expansion. I mean, added new pieces to the world and like new crafting and shit. Right? There was all sorts of shit that was added. Well, let me know what you guys think about my proposal on that, alright? Because they said something in this article about how Blizzard, some folks from Blizzard was saying that in Diablo 3 you killed Diablo, who's just a stepping stone to Melthiel in the end. And it seemed like they were talking about that like it wasn't the best way to go. And then they said how Lilith could be... Diablo might be like... I don't... There was all sorts of fucked up shit they said, man. But... good shit, alright? So, let me know what you guys want in Diablo 4. And are you with me on this? Where they, upon releasing expansions, should maybe also include a new iteration at the end of it, which is Diablo still. Even though there will be a new expansion boss that you'll fight after the original Diablo fight that you get in vanilla Diablo 4. But you get to fight a new iteration of Diablo at the end of every expansion, in addition to the new bosses and new contents and new added parts to the world. Yeah, let me know if you guys are with me on that shit, alright? And here's my patrons. Thank you guys for supporting me as you have. I've been having some patrons for some time now. Got a few new ones over the past couple weeks. Yeah, so thank you guys for supporting me as you have. Very flattering that folks want to throw me some monies. You know, with the idea that I'll continue making even more Toad videos. So thank you. And if you want to become a patron, click the link in the description below. Some new announcements for Path of Diablo actually coming up in January. Baza let me know of this on Facebook. How Green Dude, the guy behind Path of Diablo, this mod, is planning on some big announcement in January. So stay tuned for my channel for updates on that, alright? Yeah. Peace be with you.